All right, welcome to Center 1 of our Bird Songs unit here. This center is all about a game that we're calling Name That Tune. And what we're trying to get across to the kids and help them learn is some details about individual bird songs, maybe how to identify some of the bird songs, how to classify some of them, and some tricks about how to listen to birds and try to figure out which type of bird is singing. So the first activity in here is to actually listen to some of the birds and their calls and songs. So there are cards in here. There are 12 different cards with different birds on them. For instance, we've got an American robin here, and here we've got a black-capped chickadee. All these birds are, I believe I read, are native to this area, so ones that the kids in us can hear in springtime here. And what we're going to do is start by listening to the songs or calls of these birds and then try to identify them. So what you'll find is that there is a link on the PTA website, on the ELF website, where all the videos, etc. are, and the link will take you to where you can access the individual calls. So you can actually have your phone during ELF and you can listen to the calls with the kids. The backup alternative, there is a CD in the bin, if you can remember how to use a CD, and the teacher has a CD player. That will be in there as well in case for some reason we can't find or can't access the calls. We got a backup at least. So the way this is going to work, you can show the kids the picture. We'll use the American robin as an example, and it says a little bit about the robin on the back of the card. You can tell them about the bird and then listen to the call. And we're going to try to identify the call, and there's a couple different tricks in here to try to remember the call. There are different categories that are listed on the information here. For instance, some of them are sing-songers, some of them are high pitchers, different categories, so the kids can try to identify what kind of call it is. And then there are also some mnemonic devices on here to remember. For instance, the American robin says it's cheery, or they're making a sound that sounds like cheer up, or cheerily. And so the kids can use the mnemonic devices to try to remember the bird calls. And then you can play the bird calls back and see if they can identify which bird makes that call. Obviously, for the younger kids, it's probably better to just maybe pick 3 or 4 birds, show them or listen to those birds, and then try to identify them. Older kids, you may be able to get more birds in there. Some of the other things to discuss, to actually learn about birds and why they call, to talk about the reasons that birds are calling, for instance, for mating, obviously, to define territory, etc. Talk about some of those details to actually have the kids remember why the birds are calling and what the purposes are. The second part of this, if you have time to do it, there's actually a bingo game in here to use with the bird calls. There are 2 different bingo cards, one for younger, it says kindergarten through 2nd grade, that only has 9 squares on it, and there's a similar set in here that has 16 squares for the older classes. And again, you would play the bird song, different bird sounds, and then cover up with the bingo chips that are in here, and you can play a bingo game. Obviously, if you've got time, you could play, so you cover the whole card. There's some free spaces with bird feet on here, and give you some chances to play a game and see if they can identify the sounds again. So hopefully this one will be fun. If you have any questions, as always, email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com, and enjoy the game.